Hello and welcome to Élevage Olivet. This week we're going to be turning this into our garden.
Now I must stress that we are not gardeners in any way, and we are definitely not experts, so do not take this as a tutorial. It is just going to be a video of us creating the garden that we want so we can grow our vegetables, and also making it look very nice because it is the first thing that customers will see when they get to the farm. So let's see how we get on.
Okay, so the plan is that we're going to put some flower beds in and some fruit and vegetable beds. So if you spin around this way, we've got a lovely view of a wall at the moment. This is south facing, this part of the garden, so we get full sunlight all the time. What I'd like to do is to put some fruit trees across this wall eventually. It won't be today, but that will hopefully throw a little bit of shade into the garden because it gets very, very hot in here in the summer. So there'll be a nice deep flower bed running along that wall. We'll plant lots of lovely flowers in there as well, and some herbs on that side as well for the kitchen. So there's the chicken pen, that's staying where it is. And then on this side, sorry, spin around again, we're going to put another flower bed in down here, a slightly shallower one. And we're going to grow lots of climbing plants up. So I've already bought some honeysuckle and some wisteria, which smell really beautiful, and they're going to climb up and hopefully cover up that lovely piece of chicken wire there. Again, that's going to create a little bit of privacy because there's a main road running along there. I say main road, we get about 4 cars a day, but still, bit of privacy from the neighbours. And then if you come down this way, this area is going to be mostly lawn. You know how the British love their lawns. And then we're going to build a fence running from where that telegraph pole is right across to the corner of where the chickens are. And that is because, as you can probably see wandering around the garden, we have got 3 chickens who will just decimate any vegetables they can find. They love eating vegetables. There we go, having a lovely look around in the garden. Oh, hello Toby, you're here as well.
He has to make it into every video we make.
Absolutely. It's Toby's YouTube channel. So we're going to build a little fence across there. It might not stop them completely, but at least it's going to be a deterrent to the chickens getting in there and eating all my strawberries all the time. And we want them to have a bit of free reign in the garden. We don't want them to be penned in all the time. So on that side of the fence, there are going to be some vegetable beds. We've got a lot of digging to do. Busy day ahead. It's going to be good. See you later.
Are you wearing 2 hoodies?
Yeah, I'm cold.
I'm just in my t-shirt.
I'm allowed to be cold. I'll be warmer once I start digging.
Okay.
Can I go and get a cup of tea now?
I'll stop recording.
Oh, okay.
Is that alright?
Yeah. Stop it.
I'm not recording.
Then why?
Where did you chicken?
I'm going to pick her up and check her for mites and stuff.
Is this a different video altogether?
No, you just said you'd stop recording and you clearly haven't, you liar.
Start recording again if you want.
No, thank you. So where did Toby go? Oh, he's there. Hey, Toby. Do you want to be in the video? Do you want to be in the video? Say hello, YouTube. Hello.
I'll stop filming now.
Okay.
See you all in a bit.
Bye.
What are you doing, Katie?
I'm just digging the last of my veg beds. Nearly done.
So you've dug all of that, have you?
Yeah. Been really busy.
You dug it all by hand?
Yeah.
In no way did you use a tractor?
No, it's all by hand.
Okay.
Definitely. Very busy.
Good. So what's the next step now? You've dug it all over by hand?
Right, well, we're going to move all of that manure in the corner that came out of the barn. We're going to spread it onto the beds and let it all rot down. The worms will come up and eat it. It will put some nutrition back into this ground because it's very sandy.
What are you doing?
I'm just spreading some powdered limestone with the help of Dad, that's why thank you, onto the ground, because at the moment the soil is very, very acidic, and this is alkali, so it will bring the acidity down and help plants to grow. As you can see, it's very hard work being a YouTube star. Toby's having a lovely long nap after all his efforts this morning with filming. The chickens, meanwhile, are trying to help Dad. There we go, helping by pecking and getting in the way of the spade. And then, here we go. Dolly has been exploring the garden. She's been having a lovely time looking inside the hen house and nearly climbing in. Haven't you, doggo? Haven't you? Say bye, Dolly. Say bye. And the garden is coming along nicely. All the lime is down. We're just moving the compost bin now.
So what are you doing now, Katie?
We are just finishing off our little wildlife pond. So this is not for fish or anything like that, it's just a little pond for any frogs or lizards or anything else that comes into the garden wants a quick drink. Maybe hedgehogs, don't know. So what we've done is we have sort of buried in a little plastic tub that we got from the garden centre. We've put some rocks around the edge just to hide it, and then we've at one end put in some bricks, like little sort of steps, just in case anything falls in and can't get out again. I'm going to fill it up with water.
Cool.
And then we can come and enjoy. So Sven, what are we doing today?
Oh, you didn't press record?
No, I just said it helps you press record. Right, do it again.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to talk first?
About what?
What are we doing?
We're
Right.
bringing some posts.
No, wait.
What?
Sven, what are we doing today?
I'm repeating the same.
Right, Sven, what are we doing today?
I'm just hammering in some posts. We can build a fence and stop the chickens from going in.
Very much like that. Okay. Is it easy?
It's not too bad so far.
Have we hit any big rocks yet?
Not yet. No.
Fingers crossed then.
There we go. So Katie, what are you up to on this very windy day?
We are cutting some poles to grow beans and peas and sweet peas, things like that, up in the garden. At home we'd use bamboo sticks, but we don't have any here, but we have loads and loads of trees, so we're making the most of what we've got.
Cool. What type of tree is it?
I think it's a hazel,
Cool.
but I'm not entirely sure.
So let's see you cutting your beans.
Oh, it's going to be appalling.
Have you taken in mind health and safety?
Yeah, I've done a risk assessment. Nah, it's all good. It's not a cliff, it's just a slight slope. And my feet are pretty well dug in. Ooh. No, it's fine.
The rain is coming in. How many more have you got to cut?
This is the last one.
That's lucky.
There we go. It's a bit long.
Speaking of gardening, Sarah.
It's not my favourite hobby.
Is it not?
No,
Someone told me you don't do gardening.
I don't do gardening, but I do for the benefit of the farm.
Oh, fair enough. Thank you.
So, Dad and Sven, what are you doing?
We're building the wigwams frame so that we can grow some beans, some runner beans and some French beans and what have you.
Okay.
And there you go. We've used baling twine we found in the manure, so we're recycling everything we can. Okay, when?
Okay, we're at the market and we've just bought some lovely plants and now we can take them back and put them in the garden.
Cool. So what are we going to plant? What's the new stuff we've bought?
What, today?
Yeah.
We bought some herbs and some plants from the market. So we've got rosemary, sage, some lupins, which are flowers. This is thyme, this is chives. That is a geranium, which apparently is going to get enormous. That's good. That's meant to go in a pot, not the garden, because it will just grow everywhere like it did in our old house. I don't even know what this is, but it's pretty. And then we've got a honeysuckle to climb up the wall over the fences in the garden. Some forget-me-nots, and this is a wisteria. I don't know if you can see the label. Again, to grow over the fences in the garden because they're not particularly pretty.
So, and you might have to back up a bit. So, as a keen gardener, and an expert on the matter, can you give me some interesting facts on all of these plants you've just named?
Some of them are herbs, so you can eat them. That's about the most interesting thing I can tell you about them.
Brilliant.
They're going to look good. They're going to smell good. They're going to make the garden look a lot more interesting, and they're going to be productive because all these vegetable seeds will give us nice fresh veg.
So what vegetables are we going to plant?
Well, what's on the plan? Plan's over here. We need to
have a plan.
We do have a plan. I know it's unusual. So we need to plant. The tomatoes need to go in now to start going, and the courgettes need to start growing in pots before we move them on.
Have we got enough courgettes?
Well, no, we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's a cucumber. 5 packets of courgettes.
Did you say that's too many?
Possibly. A few too many. We need to start growing leeks in pots, and we need to start growing sweet corn. And I think everything else goes straight into the ground. So we won't worry about the rest.
So what are we doing today?
All of that. Planting them all out in seed trays, getting them started. So we bought some nice new seed trays this morning. Again, before we realised we brought some with us from England, but never mind. We're going to put a little layer of compost in, get the seeds in there to start growing, and put them on a nice sunny windowsill until they're nice big plants.
Have we got enough compost?
No.
Katie?
I am making holes at the moment with a dibber to plant monge-to. And this is our incredible frame that Sarah and I built when she was here last week. So in Southampton before, we've grown them up, sort of steel frames and things that have got lots of wire on them to grow up because they need things to cling onto all the way up. So we thought here we'd just make one out of string instead, but it was a little bit of a disaster. It's fallen down 3 times, so I'm trying not to touch it. These are the seeds that we planted last week, and they've started growing, which is brilliant. So if you want to come and have a look, we've got some runner beans. They're the most obvious things growing at the moment. Lots and lots of runner beans, which is fantastic. This one started growing upside down, so it's got its roots sticking in the air, but never mind, it sorted itself out in the end. Okay, and then these ones are the French beans. They're not quite as far along yet, but you can just about see breaking through the surface. There's some beans coming through there. Courgettes there's no sign of anyway, but never mind, they'll come through a bit later. And then we've got some tomatoes coming up, which is fantastic. Lots of lovely tomato plants. The trays planted at the front were planted a bit later, so there's nothing in there yet, but hopefully any day soon. We are just planting the last plant here. This is an erodium, which looks like this. There you go. Nice pink flowers. It's going to get really big and fill up this flower bed, which is brilliant. And now that's it, that's the last plant of the garden finished. So I'll give you a really quick tour. Okay, so in this flower bed here, we've got flowers. There's a few bulbs planted, iris bulbs. There's some forget-me-nots and a geranium. There's the erodium that I've just mentioned. All plants that hopefully will grow a bit bigger and fill up some space and be nice and colourful in the summer. And also attract the bees. There are some bees flying around today. In the centre we've got our lovely lawn, all freshly mown using the lawnmower we brought with us from England. And Toby, as you can see, is enjoying the sunshine again. Always out here. And then against this wall we haven't got our fruit trees yet. So we've dug the big bed for them to go into. For now we've put some wildflower seeds down and we've put in a few odd plants, little bits and pieces just to fill up some space, but eventually we'll have fruit trees here. In this corner, we've got herbs for the kitchen. So we've got chives, thyme, sage, mint in a pot so it doesn't go everywhere, and some lavender, which is going to smell really nice every time we brush past it. And as I said, there are some flowers in there as well. The chickens, unfortunately, having said that they're going to be able to have free reign of this bit, can't at the moment, because the black one has already worked out how to get through the fence. She can squidge herself through the gaps in the fence or fly over the top. She's doing something to get through. So for now they're in there, but we'll check-and-proof the fence a little bit more and they can get through. So here we have our very high-tech gate. Sven likes this because this is a Hampshire gate, which is a really fancy name for the fence carries on and you just stick it on a pole so it can be opened and closed with a bit of wire. But the joke about these is they're called whichever county you're in. So we're from Hampshire, it's a Hampshire gate, sorry. Here in La Creuse, it's a Cruisoir gate. If you were from Dorset, it would be a Dorset gate. Anyway, come in and you can see the rest of the garden. So in this corner, there's lots and lots and lots of wildflower seeds, which is what we don't want the chickens to eat really. There's also a few plants. There's comfrey, which you can use to make a type of fertiliser for the garden. There's 2 big wigwams for sweet peas to grow up. So the wigwams are all set up ready to go. The sweet peas aren't quite ready to go out yet. And there's a great big row of sunflowers at the back, because you like eating sunflower seeds, don't you?
I do, very much.
Okay.
Sunflower seeds with salt.
Yum.
Childhood treat.
All right, in you come. And I'll show you this. I'll shut this very high-tech gate behind you. Okay, which only leaves us the veg beds to have a look at. So these are all planted out now as far as we can. There's still a few bits to go in. Here we've got our strawberry plants, which are already flowering, so hopefully strawberry soon. In the centre we're going to have some currants and some raspberries, but we haven't bought them yet, so they're still to go. And on the end there's a rhubarb plant. Okay, in this bed there is nothing at the moment, but that's because it's going to have potatoes and courgettes, both of which need a bit of prep time inside before they can be planted out in the garden. This middle one is planted at the back but not the front. So the back has got a row of leeks and a row of carrots. The front half is going to have strawberry plants, tomato plants and cucumber plants. Again, just waiting for them to get a bit bigger before they come outdoors. This bed here has got at the back a row of parsnips and a row of beetroot. And at the front it's got lots of salad leaves, like lettuce and mustard leaves, things like that, cress. And then this one has got nothing in it yet because it's going to have sweet corn and that's going in the kitchen. And at the back on the wonky wigwam, the mange-tout is planted and ready to go. And on the big fence at the back, runner beans and French beans are all in the kitchen getting ready. So that's it. That is our whole garden. You'll have to come back in a few months' time, see how it's getting on, because unfortunately it's going to take a little while for it to grow. But do come back and see how we're getting on and we'll keep you updated. See you next time.